Have you ever wondered whether hypnotherapy might help you in your battle with weight? I've always wondered whether being hypnotised might actually help you get out of some of the bad habits and adopt some really good ones. So I went along to meet Anne Thompson, who is a hypnotherapist working in Newbury in Berkshire. She's actually the hypnotherapist who did one of our web chats not so long ago, and she'll be available again for you to ask questions. But I thought you'd like to hear what it was really like, and I was curious myself. Would I go under, for instance? I wondered, would she be able to implant some really good thoughts in there, and would it help me make healthy choices instead of unhealthy ones? Even if you've had weight loss surgery, even if you've got a gastric band inside you like me, I think an awful lot of work still needs to be done in the mind. An awful lot of work to actually make sure that the food you do eat is healthy food, and that you start to adopt rather more healthy lifestyle, like actually doing more exercise. For instance, what is it that makes you take the lift instead of take the stairs? What is it that makes you drive the car when you could quite easily walk to the shops? Those sort of things. So I went along and found out exactly what goes on in a hypnotherapy session.
Hypnosis is just shutting off the conscious mind, letting the conscious mind take a back seat so that I can access the subconscious mind, because it is the subconscious mind that makes you do what you do. I can pull forward the part of the mind that deals with weight, and I can ask the person, what do you do for this person? And it'll sometimes say, I protect her, or whatever reason. It'll come up with something. I keep her safe, I make her feel better, or all those kind of things. And so the typical one, let's say, about making her feel better. So then I say, okay, thank you for helping this person, but actually what you're really doing is making her feel worse, because you're making this person eat, and for a very short moment, yes, they feel better. And then they feel absolutely wretched, they feel really guilty and hate themselves, can't understand why they can't control it, feel this dreadful frustration, all these things that everyone recognises that has had a problem with weight. And because they feel so wretched, actually then they eat some more, because the subconscious is trying to help you and make you feel a bit better. So I can tell the subconscious mind this is what's happening, and say, actually, if you really want to make this person feel better, can you tell them that actually they don't need that food? Because then you're really going to be helping them to feel better, because they'll start to feel good about themselves, and when they feel good about themselves, everything in their lives will change for the better. And that is amazingly successful.
One of the really interesting things that Anne got me to do, and I think it's a lot about visualization, was she said, right, imagine how you are, the way you really want to look, the way you really want to be. Just picture that in your mind. So right, I pictured beautiful Armani suit and diamonds head on the top. And then she said, right, now imagine a long road, and you put that image at the end of the road, because that's where you want to go. And then, when you've got that image at the end of the road, within distance, but still quite far away, then put in between you and that image the thing that's the barrier to you getting there. What is your weakness? What is the habit that you'd like to give up? What is the food that you'd like to stop eating? And I thought, right, what is my real weakness is nibbling cheese and biscuits. That's one of my worst problems during the day, and it really adds up the calories. And I think that's what stops me losing more weight now. And something like a drink, a fizzy drink like Diet Coke or something like that. You know, it's those sort of bad habits. So I imagined that plonked in the road between me and the image I want to get to. Now, she said, the food, those bad habits, that food and drink that's in your way, imagine it turning into a block of ice. And then the sun comes out. And that block of ice starts to melt. It starts to melt, it starts to melt, it starts to get smaller and smaller. And in the end, it just ends up as a puddle on the road. And then it even evaporates. Now there's nothing between you and what you really want, your goal. Now walk towards that goal. And then slide yourself into that image. And I found that a very, very powerful image to cling to. So I just thought you'd like to see it too, just in case it helps.
The perception of hypnosis is very different to reality. People often think I don't like the word go under because it isn't a magical state that only I've got the magical words that will bring someone out of it. It is just a lovely state, a bit like just before you go to sleep.
From now on, if at any time you feel tense or agitated, take a long, deep breath, and as you breathe out, think to yourself the words calm and relaxed. Repeat this procedure as and when necessary, and soon you find that all tension leaves your body and you feel even more calm and even more relaxed than you do right now. It follows that as you relax more and more during the day, that you're more relaxed at night time too. But if you do have any problems going to sleep, or you wake during the night, take a long deep breath thinking those words, calm and relaxed, and soon you drift off into a deep and natural sleep until the appropriate time for you to wake in the morning. Now take some time to allow your subconscious mind to absorb these suggestions so that it can then feed them to your daily living so that you can become the person that you choose to be.
Now clearly all hypnotherapists aren't the same, and there are ways of looking for them, and I'll look out tips to help you find a good hypnotherapist maybe in your area. But whatever the way they do it, Anne does it with earphones on the patients so that they can hear sort of certain noises. She wants certain sound effects. Other hypnotherapists might not do it that way. Some will have a sort of sofa for you to lie on, others will just have a chair for you to sit in. Anne has a very relaxing sort of leather chair for you to lean back. They will all do it in different ways, but it would be very interesting to hear from you maybe if you've ever tried it, and let other members of Fat Happens know what we really think of hypnotherapy and if we think it can work for you.
You're now becoming so deeply relaxed, so deeply asleep that your mind becomes so receptive to what I say that everything I do say sinks so deeply into your subconscious mind, causing so deep and lasting an impression there that nothing will remove it. Therefore, these things that I suggest to your subconscious mind, which are for your benefit and of course with your approval, begin to exercise a greater and greater influence over the way you think, over the way you feel, over the way you behave. And because these things remain firmly embedded in your subconscious mind after you've left here, when you're no longer with me, they continue to exercise that same great influence over your thoughts, your feelings and your actions, just as strongly, just as surely, just as powerfully when you're going about your daily life as when you're here with me in this room.